Welcome to the Kevin Dunn Show. We are so excited that you're taking the time out to join us. Hope you are having a great day. Today on our show, we have a young man who has passion, he has energy, and he's going to be talking about the matrix in medicine. When we come back from the commercial break, we're going to be introducing to you our special guest today, Dr. Grego.
The Kevin Dunn Show, brought to you in part by Rogers Barbecue, LaGrange, Georgia. Rogers Barbecue in LaGrange has been locally owned and operated since 1945. They have daily lunch specials for only $6.62, and that includes your drink and dessert. Tuesday nights from 5 to close is all-you-can-eat ribs. Thursday, Rogers has all-you-can-eat catfish, which, along with their stew, is famous throughout the region, and they proudly serve only U.S. farm-raised catfish. Dine in or use their convenient drive-thru, Monday through Saturday, 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. at 117 New Franklin Road in LaGrange. Come join the crowd at Rogers Barbecue.
Life's dirty, play clean. SOS Cleaners, locally owned and operated in LaGrange with over 54 years of experience, is a full-service dry cleaners, and all cleaning is done on premises using environmentally friendly cleaning processes and practices. SOS Cleaners specializes in shirt laundry, alterations, furs and leather, formals, odor removal, wedding gown preservation, and fire restoration. We have a fully functional drive-through, and same-day service is available upon request. Also, give them a call to find out their weekly specials. Life's dirty, play clean.
If you've got a big lawn, you need a big-time mower. You need an X-Mark. With an X-Mark, you'll get a better cut faster and a mower that may be the last one you'll ever need to buy. So if you want your lawn to look like a pro maintained it, use what the pros use. X-Mark. Purchase 2-to-1 over the next best-selling brand by landscape professionals. For more information, visit your local X-Mark dealer or xmark.com.
Welcome back to the Kevin Dunn Show. Dr. Michael Grego. How you doing, man?
If I was any better, I couldn't tolerate myself.
You couldn't tolerate yourself?
No, sir, I could not.
We're going to be seeing a lot of energy and passion in this interview. This guy is very energetic, and he's passionate about what he's talking about. First of all, there's some labels at the end of your, I don't know if you call them labels or whatnot, but you're Dr. Michael Grego, ND.
That's
what does the ND stand for?
Sure, Kev. The ND stands for naturopathic doctor. And basically that means anything natural in the body. I mean, we're talking about acupuncture, talking about herbs, vitamins, minerals. I actually produce my own vitamin line. I have a multivitamin, for example, that has 410 different items in one pill.
No.
Yeah, 410.
And you produce it?
I did. I bought the company out of Atlanta called Vitalabs. Actually went together and custom made it. Yes, sir.
Okay. That's awesome, man.
Anything natural. Cold lasers. We also have cold lasers in the clinic, percussors, adjusters, color therapy, vibrational therapy. Anything that helps the body in a natural way, that's naturopathics. And so that's what the degree is.
Naturopathics. Now, what about the DC?
DC means Doctor of Chiropractic. Of course, most people know that's popping and cracking and getting in there and really moving things around. But you know that it's important because from a structural standpoint, you know, a lot of people misunderstand chiropractic. A lot of it's our fault as a profession. We don't really tell people the bottom line and what's really going on. And it's really simple as like if you had a square tire on a car, Kev, and you took it into the shop and you said, hey, you know, what's going on with my car? It's not driving right. I'm not getting good gas mileage. It just doesn't feel right. Right, so the mechanic says, well, I think I'm going to replace your engine. Let's just start. We're going to take the whole engine out and put it in, right? And you're going to take it out and you can come back, well, you know, that didn't do it. And even if you painted the car, put some leather in, maybe even a nice sunroof, it's still not going to change how that car drives because there's a square tire on it. And that's the structure of the car. So we take off that square tire, put on a round tire. That's chiropractic. That's what the adjustment does. Put the round tire in the body so it runs smooth, gets better gas mileage, and it just performs better all the way around.
That's a very interesting analogy. We're going to be getting more involved in that later on in the show.
That's a simple one compared to what's coming up.
Okay.
I'm trying to start off slow for everybody so we don't lose everybody.
It's good, man. And I know what this actually means, but a lot of people may don't. The LLC, what does that stand for?
Limited Liability Company. I actually didn't earn that one. I bought it. so what happens is, you know, you come together as that for tax purposes and whatnot. Right?
Okay.
And
all right.
liability.
That's good. Now, altogether, how long have you been in the medical field?
Medical field since 1989. So that's over 25 years now.
Okay,
Yes,
all right.
sir.
And
I'm
so
old.
You're old.
I am old.
Okay, now you said that you are a chiropractor.
That's right.
Okay, you crack bones.
Adjust. We like to say
Adjust
that.
bones.
We like to say pop. We like to tell everybody popcorn pops, sidewalks crack, and chiropractors adjust. Kind of keeps it in perspective there.
But man, those sound horrible.
Sure. Right. Scary, a little bit scary too.
How can you? Is it easy to hurt someone when you're doing this?
Oh wow. Well, first of all, let me explain the sound. You brought 2 points up, Kevin.
All right, okay.
The sound is actually a nitrogen gas that comes out of the joint space when it opens up. Now, to put it in common terms, if we were to shoot a dart against a window, right, a little dart, right, and it's stuck against the window, and then we went over and we pulled the dart off the window, it would make a little popping sound. That's air rushing in from the vacuum that's created from the dart on the window. Now, that sound doesn't hurt the window. That doesn't hurt.
It doesn't hurt the window. Okay.
It doesn't hurt the dart. Same thing when you adjust a bone or a joint in the body. You just open it up, a little vacuum space, nitrogen rises in, and it makes a little popping sound. Doesn't hurt the joint. It actually helps the joint to get it moving again and in the right place. Right.
So how do you learn to do that? Now, when you were practicing, did you practice on dummies or you practice on humans?
We should have, but no. Actually, what we did, in all honesty, we practiced on students, on each other. They wouldn't let us on the public, and it's a good thing, honestly, because what happens is, you're on a bone for the first time. You kind of really, is this the right one? Is it really going the right way? And I think I told you a little bit before we started the show. I'll relate the story again. We had a student come in adjusting another student. And his atlas, which is a very top vertebra, right, in the neck, it was actually offline a certain direction, and the student accidentally pushed it even more offline. And then there was something I've never seen before in my life. It was projectile vomiting. I mean, this vomit actually came up out of this. I know the first thing in the morning, guys, hopefully your breakfast you've already eaten. But vomiting went all the way across the room and literally landed on the wall about 10 feet away. It was amazing.
Wow.
Of course, the student didn't think it was amazing. And he had a headache and a migraine that came on afterwards, and the doctor had to come in and try and readjust him back into center, where it's supposed to be. But that's the kind of thing, sure, I mean, you got to start somewhere, but eventually you get good, after a while. So
that's good. That's good.
Go ahead.
Now, you deal with the natural.
Sure.
What do you think are the intentions of prescription drug manufacturers? What do you think their intentions are?
What do I think their intentions are? I think their intentions, that's a great question, Kev. I think their intentions are to hypnotize us in a way. I call it pharmaceutical hypnosis. I mean, if we've ever seen these commercials, right, even on the Super Bowl, which just happened, right, they pay a lot of money, millions of dollars in some cases, right, and we can't go out and actually buy that product. So you got to ask yourself, why would somebody pay millions of dollars if you couldn't get up, get in your car, drive down to the store and buy it? And of course, we're talking about prescription drugs. You and I can't buy unless we get a prescription from our doctor, right?
True.
So here we go. I have a couple of my favorites. One is Prilosec, right? Prilosec is for a stomach. Upset, abdominal gas, bloating, distension, right?
Right.
And then the little man comes on at the end and says, this might not be for everybody. Check with your doctor first. Some of the major signs or symptoms of that not being for you is abdominal gas, bloating, and distension. And you're like, wait a minute, that's what's supposed to help. But that's also what it causes. And then, of course, there's my favorite, which is Propecia. Right? Propecia is for male pattern baldness. It's to make you look more virile, more sexually wanted by the opposite sex, by female. Right. So check with your doctor first. This might not be for everybody. Some of the major symptoms, contraindications are erectile dysfunction and impotence. So you might look good because you got some hair, but you can't do anything about it. Right when you meet somebody. So these are just type of the hypnosis that's really going on in pharmaceuticals. They tell us one thing, but they have all these side effects, and everybody hears them, and we can't even go out and buy it, but they spend all that money. So you really got to ask yourself, why are they doing this? Really, what is the reason behind it?
And that is crazy, man, because you hear all these side effects. So basically, that leads to my next question, and I know what you're going to say, but I still want to hear it in your terms. So do you think these drug manufacturers are more concerned about making money or about helping people get better?
Kev, that's a tough, and I really want to exclude the good doctors and nurses and all the people that are out there in the healthcare field really doing their best and really trying and wanting to help people and helping to some extent. The point is the system that really vacuums, and of course everybody knows what a vacuum does. What does a vacuum cleaner do? It sucks, right? So that's really the system these good people, myself included, are a part of this. And so what happens is, the answer to your question is, there's $1 trillion train that's been running down the track since 1996. So the pharmaceutical companies have been making over $1 trillion. With a T, that's not a B. $1 trillion since 1996. So of course, that is a lot of money. They have a lot vested in that to keep that train going.
So you think it's more about the money, not necessarily having
I think $1 trillion speaks for itself.
Okay, now with you, and I know I'm backtracking just a little bit.
Sure.
With the ingredients that you put in your own vitamins, how can you mix so many ingredients into one capsule?
Oh, it's not a capsule, it's actually a tablet.
It's a tablet.
It's a tablet, right?
Okay.
They're compressed, and you know, vitamins are tiny pieces of energy, of parts of, in our case, whole foods that we use, that we put together. So they're very small, but they're very potent. So that's how we can get so many into, and it's not a small tablet. It's fairly large. But you know, you can imagine 410, but getting them all together, because normally, if anybody takes a vitamin out there, you got to realize that, number one, vitamins are useless without minerals. And our soil has been depleted since 1954. I don't know if we want to go this direction exactly, but there's a Senate Bill 254 in 1954 that came out called demineralization of the soil, meaning they were taking out 82 minerals and only putting back 3. Phosphorus, potassium, and nitrogen. Now, if you had a bank account and I took out $82 and every week and only put back $3, eventually, you know what's going to happen. It's going to be depleted, right? So that's what's happening. Nobody grows cover crops anymore, like Del Monte, the big growers. You know, my grandfather had an organic farm back in the day. He grew soy, and we used to get on the tractor and push it back into the soil for all the minerals. And then also a compost pile. He gave me a pitchfork and said, here, turn this compost, and then after it was broken down, we put it on the soil. And so that's brought back the 82 minerals to make the vitamins, and coming back around full circle, then making the vitamins useful and be able to help in the body. And so there again, it starts with the soil. So if you guys can buy organic out there, that's really the thing to do. Spend the extra money, because you're either spending it now or spending it later in an assisted living home, which is extremely expensive.
Exactly. So, now, those 2 drugs you mentioned, Prilosec, does a lot of ingredients go into drugs like that, or are you looking at maybe 2 or 3 ingredients?
Oh, just one. Basically just one.
Just one?
Yeah, sure, because it's synthesized. It's normally taken from a plant-based source, and I'm not certain about Prilosec. I don't think it was. I think it was chemically man-made from the start. And so those are just one. That's just one chemical that's been synthesized, very potent, to cause a reaction in the body. You know,
because it seems to me, you should have the same mentality as you create a vitamin, put in multiple things to make a better product than.
Well, you know, Kev, it would stand to reason. It's just that here's the catch. We're from the ground, right? We're from the soil.
Right.
And so we can only use things that come up through a plant. Chemicals can't come through a plant. They're synthetic. And no synthetic chemical can get inside a cell. So if our cells are injured or they need help and need to be rebuilt, there's no chemical could get inside of it to try and rebuild it.
Cool.
So there's the catch, right?
Cool.
It's got to be organic. It's got to be natural.
Okay, all right. Well, Dr. Grego, having a great time with you, man. We're going to have to pause and take a quick commercial break. And when we come back from the commercial break, we're going to be asking Dr. Grego some questions about what do you think researchers are doing as they search for cures of some very, very bad diseases.
Rogers Barbecue in LaGrange has been locally owned and operated since 1945. They have daily lunch specials for only $6.62, and that includes your drink and dessert. Tuesday nights from 5 to close is all-you-can-eat ribs. Thursday, Rogers has all-you-can-eat catfish, which, along with their stew, is famous throughout the region, and they proudly serve only U.S. farm-raised catfish. Dine in or use their convenient drive-thru, Monday through Saturday, 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. at 117 New Franklin Road in LaGrange. Come join the crowd at Rogers Barbecue.
Now bigger and better, America's Mattress in LaGrange has moved on up to a new location with new store hours located at 1300 Lafayette Parkway, with greater selections, greater inventory, greater prices, featuring the Serta Perfect Sleeper, iComfort, the iSeries, and much, much more. The America's Mattress line also offers a variety of comfort features in select models that give you the comfort and support you need, all at an affordable price. Come visit our new large showroom located at 1300 Lafayette Parkway.
The law office of Janelle J. Johnson is a law firm that cares. We understand that when it comes time to hiring an attorney, clients want someone that is sympathetic to their case, but also knowledgeable and willing to fight for them. We care because we step through the case with our clients, making sure that our clients are clear on the law and how it applies in their particular situation. We go above and beyond for our clients. We don't just look at the short-term solution to their problem, we look at the big picture and assess how the short-term solution will impact the long-term future of a person. Give the law office of Janelle J. Johnson a call today at 706-298-0947. Mi número de teléfono es 706-298-0947. Gracias.
Welcome back to the Kevin Dunn Show. We're having a great time here with Dr. Michael Grego. And I know I said when we came back from the commercial break we were going to talk about researching for cures, but Dr. Grego is so excited about getting into this next topic called the matrix in medicine. Ooh. Now, Dr. Grego, what is the matrix in medicine?
Well, that is a loaded question, Kevin,
all right,
and I'm glad you asked it.
All right.
So what we got going on, if everybody remembers the movie The Matrix, Lawrence Fishburne, I think, and Keanu Reeves, right? They're sitting in chairs, much like we are, and Lawrence pulls out his hand, and he's got a couple pills right there, a red pill and a blue pill, if I'm not mistaken. And he asks Keanu, which one would you want to take? One is going to keep you here in this quote-unquote reality. The other one's going to pull you behind the scenes and show you what's really going on. So, of course, he chose the pill to see what's really going on, say the red pill. So about now, we're going to take the red pill and we're going to go behind the scenes for just a moment. And we're going to talk about what's really happening in this system, in this matrix of medicine. And again, I'm going to make a disclaimer, Kev, because it's so important to point out that it's not the good doctors and the nurses and all the people in the healthcare that are trying their best to really help people. It's the system that they're in. So this system, this matrix that we have, if we have, let's say, for example, an elbow that is red and swollen and painful, and we go to our doctors and we say, hey, I got an elbow, it's hurting me, it's red, it's swollen, it's painful. Can you tell me what I got? They say, sure, give me your insurance card in a couple days and come back in 3 days and I'll tell you what's going on here. So we give them the card, they run some tests, they come back, they tell us we have arthritis, right? We have arthritis. Now, if we look at that for just a moment, a little closely, we uncover the matrix, what's going behind that word, along with many others, we're going to find something that may be eye-popping and very, very revealing. By that I mean, the word ITS means inflammation, okay? The word arthur means joint. So if we put the two together, inflammation, red, swollen joint, and I told the doctor 3 days earlier I had a red, swollen joint. Hey, wait a minute. And then he came back later and said, in Latin, you have arthritis, where if he spoke in English, he would say, you have a red, swollen joint. And then I might look at him and say, but yeah, doc, that's what I said. Right? Do you see that, what's going on here? So I'm going to go a little bit deeper just so we really get this, because this is very important. So if we took the word auto, O-T-O, right, that means ear in Latin. We added itis. And we said, doc, my ear is red and swollen and inflamed. He said, you have otitis, right? You have ear. Doc, my eye is red and swollen. Conjunctive. Conjunctive in conjunctivitis, conjunctive in Latin means eye. My nose, rhinoitis. My throat, laryngitis. My stomach, gastritis. My intestines, diverticulitis. My legs, phlebitis. The bottom of my feet, plantar fasciitis. These are just body parts named, right, in Latin, and then with the word itis behind it. So really, we're not discovering what's causing our problems or a disease, a true causative factor of a disease, but rather we're getting a description in another language. And it goes even deeper than that, Kel, if you all are still with me. And that is, if we go to asthma, right, comes from the Greek verb azine. It means noisy breathing or rattling sounds, okay? So if we went to the doctor again, and let's say a mom brought in little Johnny, and little Johnny she's concerned because he's not breathing easy and he's rattling and his chest is shaking and vibrating. And we go to the doctor and we say, hey, doc, what's going on with little Johnny? Well, doc says, okay, give me your insurance card, give me a few days, right? And we'll come back and we'll tell you what's going on. Only this time, right, let's pull back the veil. And let's say that doctor doesn't speak in Latin. Let's say that he speaks in English. And he comes back and says, well, Mom, Mary, we found out what's going on with little Johnny. he's got noisy breathing sounds and rattling in his chest. And now Mary's going to go, but yeah, doc, that's what I just told you 3 days earlier before you grabbed my insurance card, right? So what's really going on? You're just getting a description back to you in another language. Yes, sir. And it goes deeper, like epilepsia, for epilepsy, to seize, to shake, to lay hold of. And so what does somebody do when they have an epileptic fit or a seizure, right? They look like they're being shaken.
Wow.
That's a description. That's not a disease. It goes even as deep as cancer. Hippocrates, the father of medicine, right? He actually coined the term cancer. He looked at a patient, a female patient, and on her breast, it was the shape of a crab.
Okay.
And so he said, well, you have carcinos. And so carcinos, or cancer, means crab. So if I was in Greece, then I like crab legs, right? So I'd order a big bowl of cancer with a side of butter, because it's delicious. But I don't want to make fun of the situation, but I really want to get people to think like, hey, wait a minute, what's really going on here? We're just getting descriptions and not really the causative factors of diseases. And I want to give one more example, Kevin, then we can talk about it. But I think this is so important that people understand if they're trying to get to the cause of what's really going on with you, then you really don't want a description coming back to you in another language of what you just said to the doctor.
That's incredible.
Right? You want the real cause or the etiology behind what's going on with me. And so I want to talk about Crohn's, Hashimoto's, and Parkinson's disease, as long as Lou Gehrig's. And when I do a slideshow projection, I really like this one because it's really impactful.
Right.
You can picture Crohn's, Hashimoto's, and, Lou Gehrig's, and Parkinson's. Those aren't diseases. Those are 3 doctors' names and a baseball player. Remember, he's a pretty good one, too, from what I understand.
Right.
So I never got to see him play. But my point is, those guys aren't diseases. I think they might have been pretty good guys. I don't think they were evil or anything. I think they were good doctors just trying. But my point is, that's not the causative factor of what's really going on with you. So that's really the matrix that we're talking about, a description world that we are comfortable with and getting the answer back that we literally gave the doctor a few days earlier.
So how bad is this matrix? How bad is it?
Oh, well, how bad is it? How does it hurt? Well, if you don't find out what's really going on with you, then you can't really fix it, can you?
Right.
So what happens is we end up chasing symptoms, and when you talk about, and I think that was your initial question here, we got, well, how much are the researchers actually finding out the causative factors or the cures for diseases? And the reality is, if you think about it, is there a cure for arthritis? Is there a cure for diabetes? Is there a cure for asthma? And if there was something, and those are pretty complex diseases, of course there's no cures, and if there was something that was as simple as a flat tire, say for example, in a car, like I'm talking about the common cold, is there a cure for the common cold? No. No. So diseases, the scoreboard reads diseases 100, cure is 0, right? That's the problem, that's the issue. That's the real bad thing that happens as a result of not getting to the underlying causative reasons why somebody's having something going on off in their body or wrong in their body. So yeah, it's very serious.
Now Dr. Grego, okay, we're hearing all of this. How can we help ourselves? What can we do to help ourselves?
Great question, Kev. And that's where we start looking at the natural. We start looking at what we call vitalism, right? What we call vitalism. And that is anything that looks at the root cause of dis-ease in the body. Chiropractic is one. Naturopathic is another. Acupuncture is another science that looks at the causes of why a body would work a certain way. For example, let me give you an example. Say diabetes mellitus, right? Diabetes comes from the Greek. It means to siphon off fluid. So you're literally getting rid of water from your body. And mellitus means honey or sweet. So if you take the two together, when you go to the bathroom, when you urinate, you're actually having sugar coming out in your urine. That is a disease or a description, Kev?
That's a description.
That's a description, exactly. Sugar in the urine. But why is the sugar
there?
Why is it there? We don't know. One of the reasons, though, if you look at from a vitalistic point of view, we know that sugar would come off in the urine if we're dehydrated. Dehydration plays huge in there because what happens, and I'm going to take a moment, we have a moment to explain this, it's very important to understand. When a body's dehydrated, you don't have enough liquid or enough water in you, then you can't make something called pancreatic juice. Pancreatic juice is what happens, it's a coolant in the body. So when we eat anything, hydrochloric acid comes out in our stomach. It's very strong acid. 1.5 pH. So it literally becomes, our food becomes molten lava. Now in the stomach, it's kind of interesting. The stomach can actually regenerate cells. Every 5 minutes you get a new stomach cell, which is kind of cool, because if you didn't, you'd have a hydrochloric acid stain on your shirt and you'd have to change it before you went back to work. So it's very important that we're able to do this in the stomach. But the sad part is, or the unfortunate part is, we can't do it in the intestines. So when the stomach releases the contents into the intestine, it's got to be cooled. Enter pancreatic juice. But here's the catch. Pancreatic juice is more important than insulin for the pancreas to make. So if I don't have enough water or enough liquid, I can make one or the other. I'm going to make the pancreatic juice first before I leave the insulin on the table.
That's good.
So I can't regulate the sugar, so then boom, there goes my sugar out in the urine. And it's all because we don't drink water before we eat. We never should drink water when we eat, because that dilutes the hydrochloric acid. Every time I go to a restaurant, Kev, the waitress always asks me, "What do you want to drink? What would you like to drink?" I say nothing. She looks at me, you know, and if she keeps asking, I'll tell her, you know, if you drink while you eat, you dilute your hydrochloric acid, right? You can't properly digest the food. And besides, if you drink before, then you can make both the pancreatic juice and the insulin, and you don't have to worry about sugar spilling over in your urine.
So you're saying that if you're a diabetic, and if you drink water before you eat,
that's right,
you can somewhat control your blood sugar levels? You
can very much control your blood sugar levels, especially with type 2 diabetes, yes. Almost always.
And I've never heard that before. I just heard drink a lot of water.
Right.
You know, and that's it. So what did you develop this passion, man? What did you?
Oh wow!
How did you become so educated about?
Well, Kev, my grandfather, I give him all the credit in the world. He was a strong guy, hardworking guy, truthful, honest as the day is long. I mean, we had to get up at 3 o'clock in the morning and load a white International truck at the Cleveland market, and with potatoes and a 50-pound box of bananas, watermelons. And if I stacked those bananas wrong, I had to unstack the whole stack and put it back. You know, so he's just a hardworking guy, and he taught me a lot. T.C. Fry, Robert Shelton, Norman Walker. These guys were food hygienists. So before I understood what a dental hygienist was, I knew what a food hygienist was. We are a raw foodist, as we understand it today. Organic, all they eat is raw food. They don't cook anything. And Norman Walker actually created the Walker Press, a way to get juice out of fruits and vegetables. And he's my hero, because he died at 108 in a waterboard surfing accident. Yeah, he was surfing.
At 108?
At 108. A riptide caught him and drug him under. But yeah, so that's where my passion comes from my grandfather. And, you know, I drank carrot juice as a child. I drank so much carrot juice, my skin turned orange, you know. So yeah, it kind of just developed from there.
Well, man, that's awesome, man. Incredible show. You've educated, and hopefully you inspired. I know you've informed me. Tell us where your practice is located. You have a practice, and what's the name of your practice?
It's West Georgia Back Pain.
West Georgia Back Pain.
That's right, West Georgia Back Pain. And we're right next to Fox's Pizza, across from the Global Superstore. Everybody knows where that's at. Maybe you shouldn't. It's for another time.
All right.
But yeah, so we're right across from there, and we love to help you. We're there Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. We're also on the Hogansville Road, right, where the old John Deere building, or next to the Gospel Barn. Used to be right there. And so we have a 24-hour gym out there as well. So y'all come down, work out, get back in shape. Even if you're on shifts, you know, a lot of people change shifts so much here that you can come anytime. It's open 24/7, 365.
Okay. Well, man, thank you so much for stopping by to be a guest on the show.
Yep.
It's been great, man. It's been fun. And I'd like to share with you, if there's a topic that you would like to see discussed on The Kevin Dunn Show, please email us at thekevindunshow@wjcntv.com. We thank you so much for watching. Hope you have an incredible day.